Okay. Let's do stadiums. Stadiums as in the actual stadiums. Yes, stadiums. Stadiums and arenas and that kind of thing. Whatever it is that your city pays for, instead of that pro football, basketball, baseball team. They have enough money to pay one person $60 million to play sports. One person. They have what? 50 people on a team or something crazy like that. I don't even know. But they have a ton of people on this team and they're paying one of them $60 million. Lover's card. $60 million. But when a team wants to move to a state, that state forks over the money, as in you, the taxpayer, to build that professional team a stadium. They have enough money to pay one person $60 million whole dollars, and you have to pay for their stadium. Emperor, the high priestess, and the fool. Yeah, it makes about much sense as it can. So, can we ever reverse this? Where the taxpayers are not forking out money to build stadiums. They say, oh, it'll be all this massive amounts of jobs. Now, mind you, I lived in Oklahoma. We got a sports team, the Oklahoma City Thunder. I believe they came from like New Orleans or Atlanta, somewhere. I think it was New Orleans after Hurricane Katrina. They came to Oklahoma and was just bought and called something else. But anyway, there was also, I remember when I was growing up in Oklahoma, there was something called the MAPS project. It was supposed to bring all these jobs in because it was supposed to build all this new stuff. And at the time, I had no idea whether it did or not because I was a kid, but it's always spun as something that is going to benefit you. Therefore, we need to invest our own money for it instead of that team doing it. Because if you don't buy it for them, they won't come to your city, and then we won't have a professional football team or basketball team or baseball team. And so you feel like you're out something, like now the politicians or the powers that be have swindled you out of this opportunity. Will we ever get rid of that? Communication in haste. They have enough money to build their own, is what I'm saying. So, will we ever get rid of this? The Empress. Birth and new beginnings. A fresh start. But the start to something that you have been cultivating. Patience. Waiting on the harvest. So again, something you've cultivated. Seven of Pentacles is all about watering the garden, waiting on the harvest, and the Empress is all about the birth and the seed of new life is now coming and sprouting. So we have this quick beginning. Strength. This may just be the way this is done. And there will be no change to the system. The Moon. Things are covered up with this cultivation, this watering. I mean, it's pretty much known, which is why it's the Moon and not the High Priestess. It's known. It's out there. There's just no There's no pushback to it. They have the power. The worst thing is when your city can't come up with enough money. Then again, you feel like you're being out something. Because around its strength is the temperance. So there is a want and a need for a partnership, a meeting of the minds, a compromise. You tell me what you want, I'll do my best to get it. The fear is the world. So, no, it will not change. This tells me that. Because what we fear is completion. Will teams ever have to pay for their own stadiums? No. What you fear is completion. So you fear as though this deal with this team coming to your city will not go through. And then they can say, well, we get our money back, because that's why it's called, the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, because, Mercedes-Benz Maybach, they paid for the stadium. They paid the city back for the stadium. Now it's called, this team has enough money to pay one person $60 million. That's your fear, is that the world and completion. Your hopes is Hangman, new outlook. In your environment. Three of Swords. Separation. In your word of warning, there is the Ten of Water. This is the Ten of Cups. So the camaraderie with you and your citizens will take a hit. When these things come up, there is some pushback, but it's more local pushback in the inner or the bigger city, and it doesn't go anywhere because they don't really control how the money is spent. They just control who is in office spending the money. So that's your word of warning. Your word of solace is the Ace of Earth. So the beginning money. Whoever you put in charge is the one spending it. So that's what you need to think about. And in the end, victory and triumph and self-discipline. This will not change. I just wanted to know if it would or if it wouldn't. It's sort of the same line of some colleges say there's a hardship. That's why they don't pay student athletes. They say it's an internship, so they don't have to pay student athletes. But they have enough money. They just don't want to. Same with stadiums.